I want to discuss them with you before.
Alright.
It'll be just really funny because you'll be like, oh my god.
Yeah, sure. So what well,
we have to
we've got to talk about something.
We can't, like, script what we're going to say. We have to just talk.
I suppose. But isn't that the point? It's sort of ad-lib.
Exactly. So.
It's going to be a bit...
By the way, I didn't get to go home tonight, so I might get interrupted and things, and you'll just have to, like, cut that out or something.
No, there's no cutting. It's all live. We're doing it live.
No, you can't do that. It was your job to edit it. I did my job.
No.
I did my shitty MS Paint logo, and I made the YouTube and the Facebook page, which has a like. Go look at our Facebook page.
Yeah, I know. I checked it out. I am actually not an organizer for it, so I can't. No, I can't change stuff on, like, the URL and everything, so it's gonna be a bit more difficult. Because I'm a content creator, apparently.
I'll change it. I didn't know what it was to be. I thought content creator sounded quite amazing. I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I want to be
Sure, yeah.
a content fucking creator. But no, I'm just admin. This is my one job, is to, like, admin this page with one like.
Well, I mean, it's early beginnings, right?
We haven't even started with it.
I don't think anyone really wants to listen.
Why not?
It's fine.
Why not? We're doing this anyway, you know what? Because we can. It's probably the lamest thing any two people have been like, what should we do today?
I don't know, Charlie. What do you reckon?
Oh, God. We're just not going to refer to each other as names.
Yeah, well, we're doing it live now. So the recording's already on. It's been on for a while.
Has it actually?
Yeah, it's been 2 minutes already.
Alright, do you want to be a manager, moderator, advertiser, or insights analyst?
Just make me a manager, please. Anyway, considering... Oh, there's just going to be an empty space where no one talks for the entire... Okay.
I'm sorry, my dad came in talking about pineapples. See, this is going to happen all night now. I'm really annoyed I didn't get to go home tonight, because I didn't want to...
That's fine. That's fine. Why pineapples? That's the question.
He's homegrown a pineapple, and he's really keen to eat it.
Really keen? Please, go ahead.
So he said...
This is probably going to be interesting.
In the next...
Borderline interesting story.
In the next ad break, if he can, he's going to cut up a pineapple and try to make me eat it, so I'm going to have to go away for a bit. Actually, weirdly enough, one of the things I want to talk about was my mum, sometimes, like, because she's pretty useless, does things to try and...
Does things
she thinks will be nice.
Sure.
So today, early in the morning, she went out before anyone woke up. When I say early in the morning, I mean, like, 12. But, she went to Woolworths and bought, like, a gas, like, a little camping stove and, like, a camping wok or whatever. And then tonight...
My grandma got the entire family, right, for, this was Christmas, right? We all came down, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Continue.
But, we all came downstairs, and, she was there already, Lord behold, and, sort of, she had, like, a couple of presents arranged out in front of us. We were all, like, really, really pumped and excited. And we opened them out one by one, and our excitement sort of drained bit by bit as we realized they were all the exact same present, and they were all, like, a fake oil lamp.
Oh my fucking God. Just, like, the sheer... I can't even imagine the disappointment on your face. Like, the sheer disappointment.
Oh no, I didn't get one. I got a
Oh, you weren't loved enough.
I wasn't. No, I'm not a respected member. I got a I think I might have got a Dimmicks card.
Oh.
I'm terrible with gift cards. Oh jeez, I think I've had at least $300 to $500 wasted because I just haven't put a gift card in on time. You know. Oh, it's dreadful. I've done that a couple of times. I actually won a raffle and won a $50 JB Hi-Fi card. And I just never went to JB Hi-Fi. And so I still have the card, and it's been expired for, like, 2 years. See, I don't see why people do that. It literally just giving people money that expires. That's like the worst thing you
No,
can
I'd
possibly
rather just have the money.
I know. I mean, it's, yeah, I suppose.
So anyway, my story with this. Okay,
Yeah.
so tonight, right? They wanted me to stay for dinner because Mum wanted to do this thing, and she kept referring to it as a steamboat. I don't know if that's the proper name for it.
What's the steamboat?
Okay, I didn't know.
Food?
No, listen, I didn't know what it was. I come out tonight, and on the dinner table, there's this electric wok, and this little, like, gas stove thing, and there's just raw meat and raw vegetables and stuff. And, okay, apparently the concept or idea of a steamboat is that you sit there and cook dinner as you eat it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of that?
No, let's do it. Lots of cultures do that. I know Japanese people do it. I'm not sure they might.
No, but my dad was saying, like, oh, you pay lots of money in a restaurant to do this, which, yeah, that's true. Why? You're cooking your own food. Why not just go home? Like, that just annoyed me. I was like, it was very nice.
All the effort.
It was nice, though, except that I don't know how to cook, like, meat properly. Like, the other day, actually, oh, sorry, I'm going off on, like, a tangent here, but the other day I went to make, like, chicken nuggets, right, from the freezer, and it said to, like, oven bake them, and I was like, fuck that, I ain't oven baking shit, that takes too long. So I shot them in a frying pan, and when they were brown on both sides, I took them out, and then I took a bite into one.
And they were raw inside.
I just raw chicken nuggets.
Oh, that's awful.
Is this actually recording?
Yeah. This will be the intro. It's fine. That's a wrap, folks. Welcome. This is the official first episode
Of the podcast.
Of the podcast, and we'll be discussing with our wonderful audience of probably one person interesting topics like religion, politics, and absolutely nothing. So, where exactly did you get the name Plodcast?
We were sitting here trying to think of a name, and I looked over, and I saw a law book.
A law book.
And I was like, oh, well, we'll just, like, call it, like, the forecast or something. And then it was like...
The forecast.
And then I was like, why don't I use the L instead of the or? And then it became the podcast.
Oh, dear. That's just awful.
Actually, I have a shelf full of just different books here. Mm-hmm. It could have been the Idiot's Science of Everything Guide cast.
That's
yep.
You know, when it comes to titles, it's very, yeah. I sit there, like in games or in whatever I'm doing, and I sit there for, like, nearly half an hour figuring out what I'm going to name my character.
Oh my god,
so you can understand naming anything is going to be really difficult.
Actually, wait, I reject that statement. I don't know that, because if I can't decide a name within the first few minutes, I just call it fuckwit or something. Which is terrible. And the amount of times, you know how, like, in Pokemon when you play it, it asks you to, like, name your enemy, like Gary of your Ash? And I would just always call him Faggot Face or something, because I was like...
Which, that reminds me, actually, you know the Stick of Truth?
Yeah.
In, like, the starting area, which this is the
oh, douchebag.
South, yeah. Basically, when you go to choose a name, Cartman, he says, "Are you sure you want the name douchebag?" And if you click no, it's like, okay, douchebag.
Yeah, I know. It's like... By the way, speaking of names, two books, which are very popular books, so probably everyone already thinks this, and I'm pointing out something very obvious to everyone, is, like, okay, for a start, The Catcher in the Rye and The Fault in Our Stars are, like, the best book titles. Like,
do you reckon?
I think...
The Catcher in the Rye sounds a bit boring. It sounds a bit dry to me, to be honest.
The Fault in Our Stars was such... But it makes you think when you read the title, it's going to be some sort of really intellectual book, which they are. They're beautifully written,
Sure,
and really intelligently written. But, like, they're about teenagers and teenage issues. Not that I have cancer. Issues.
Oh, I hate that when politicians say that. I always pronounce it issues, and then when politicians always, like, at least Australian politicians, they were always like issues. Oh, it drives me bonkers sometimes.
I don't think we should state, like, our political standing.
Oh, I'm sorry. My political stance on issues.
But,
you don't want to alienate all the podcasties, eh?
But you're legally allowed to vote now, aren't you? Have you registered?
I wasn't given a choice. They sent me a letter in the mail, and they said you are now eligible to vote. You must vote. So next election, I have to go and vote.
Who are you gonna vote for? Don't actually tell the world who you're gonna vote for.
I don't.
You're not sponsored by any political parties. I had a bottle of water here because I felt weird drinking a can of Coke while making a podcast, and I've just spilt.
It's just a bottle of whiskey. So
I've just spilt my water everywhere on top of my new phone.
Oof.
Which I've already dropped several times. I'm so surprised it hasn't been broken already. I feel so terrible. I love this phone.
I think it's hilarious how you've just sort of entered into the 21st century.
By the way, I'm not sponsored by Samsung or anything about it.
This podcast is sponsored by Samsung.
Live? You know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen, like, the Scooby-Doo movies?
The live-action ones? Yeah,
you know when they, like, cut that little bit of what he's saying to make it sound like he's saying something else? Can you imagine if someone just cut you saying, we are sponsored by Samsung, and, like, made it that you were... Not that anyone would be interested in
it would just be, like, a random person that they got off the street to, like, say the remaining bit of the sentence, so, like, the accent would just change halfway through.
I'm trying to refer back to my notes, because there were several things that pissed me off today. Like, when I...
Oh, really? Oh, do tell. I don't have any notes at the moment, so I'm I'm underprepared.
Like, I went to go make the Plodcast email, which, by the way, is plodcast@hotmail.com.
Oh, well, guys, definitely check it out.
Oh, okay. And so I got to the end of making the email, right?
Yeah.
And there was, like, a write your phone number and write an alternative email address in. And I assumed, like every other, email company or whatever, they weren't compulsory slots. So I went to, like, confirm my details. And then they said that they were both compulsory. And do you know what the reason for that is? Well, not the reason. No, it's because they want you. Listen, they want you to confirm your email while making an email. Like, you know how when you sign up for a site and they make you go to your email address
and
activate your account email? That's what they wanted me to do. Well,
you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that for other email. I know you don't have to do that for Gmail. Mind you, this is not sponsored by Google either. So don't check them out.
You know what occurred to me? We could have actually been doing this live. I'm pretty sure there are like things where you can do it live. Can you?
Oh yeah, no. There are streaming places where you can do that. It's sure, yeah. But at the moment, we'll just not record live because we don't have much of an audience that would tune in.
Yeah, good point. We would just listen.
Yeah. It's a good start, really, I think. That's alright. Anyway, back to what you were saying before. What were you saying before? I don't remember.
I don't know. What I wanted to talk about was, I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. And I think I've said this before.
Oh, you were talking about The Fault in Our Stars. That's what you're talking about.
Shailene Woodley was such a bad actress when she was younger, and I saw her in Divergent.
Shailene Woodley is the one that was starring in Divergent.
Yeah, and she was so good, and now I'm actually happy she gets to play Hazel Grace, because she is so good now. I don't know what changed her for me, but she's so good, and so's he, Ansel, Elgort.
Hansel.
I don't care at all. He's really good looking though, but I just don't think he looks much like Gus. I'm still happy he's playing Gus, but doesn't look like Gus.
It's a book though, so it's not like...
She looks perfect. She looks like Hazel Grace should look.
Does she?
I don't know.
I don't really know what she looks like.
I read Divergent very briefly because I don't know.
Did you reckon it was a good book?
I feel I feel like the movie was better for me. It's the first time that's ever happened. Usually I'm like, oh my god, the book's better. But no, this time the movie was just so much better.
Well, I know from experience that Twilight was very popular, and it was very, the book was just...
Wait, can I bring up the Stephanie Meyer thing? Are we allowed to bring that up?
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah, I think we're allowed to. That's certainly within our rights.
Everyone listening, we're going to stop for a minute just while you Google Stephanie Meyer in Google Images.
Make sure you have safe search on, mind you.
Stephanie Meyer is Bella Swan. She is Bella Swan. If you read the description of Bella Swan and then look at a picture of Stephenie Meyer.
I'm going to Google Images now, right? And she looks very different in a number of photos. I don't know if it's because she's lost weight in some, but there's one where she looks like a housewife. There's one where she looks like one of those emo goth kids from South Park.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. But what were you saying?
She's incredibly successful though, like. Although I think she. Except for the last book. Okay, the Twilight books, yes, I read them all because my sister was a big fan of them and she made me read them.
Sure, yeah, it's all your sisters.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. They were all terrible except the last one. I actually enjoyed the last one. Maybe after bashing. Oh, I don't want to be mean to her because she's made so much money. But, maybe after 3 books of just bashing her hands against the keyboard, she actually thought, oh, I should make the last one worth reading, and it was quite good.
Yeah. Oh, was it? I haven't read any of them, to be honest, so I'm probably not qualified to bash on them. But, I haven't seen the movies either, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but have you noticed after the success of Twilight and the success of Harry Potter, just so many teenage films are coming out, like Vampire Academy and The Host and Beautiful Creatures.
Well, Stephenie Meyer wrote The Host.
Yeah, to be fair. But it's like...
there's a lot of things that have been Twilight... I try to say this is very difficult, Twilighticized.
It's like Beautiful Creatures, which was actually quite a good book and like a half-decent movie. Won't have a sequel, as far as I can see, because I could be wrong. I haven't Googled it.
Oh, I doubt there will be. I don't think it got... it might have gotten much money. The thing that I hated the most, right, was that when I was a kid, I read Darren Shan's series, which is a vampire series, and I really, really, really liked it because it was probably the first like real sort of gritty vampire series I ever read. It was quite dark in lots of places. It was about a teenage kid, yeah, but it was interesting enough that it was like a 13, I think it might have been 12 or 13 books in total, and it went pretty wild by the end, but it was a really, really good sort of intricate sort of plot, and it sort of expanded from the first book that was kind of, it was about like a crazy circus freak thing, so it wasn't that expansive, but when it went out to the rest of the series, it was really, really, really good, and they fucked up the first movie so badly because they made it into this teenage drama type romance shit. It was like really recently after Twilight had become a success, so they were just sort of hopping on the bandwagon, and I was just so upset because it was he's a great author, and he's done a bunch of other really awesome like really dark demon books, and I'm really sad to see that his work was sort of turned into that when it really, really, really wasn't that. Didn't read like that at all. I mean, it's been a long time since I've actually read it, so I might have a bit of a romanticist view of it, but I don't like it when they make it so teenagery.
Yeah, I get you. I feel everything's gonna be like that though, because that's what they're trying to sell.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're over that now. I think we've gotten to this phase where everyone's trying to make fun of Twilight. Was that Vampire Academy?
We don't sparkle.
Oh dear, that was an interesting movie. Oh, it was just don't go see it, folks. Don't go see it.
Oh no, I liked it. I liked it by the end.
Oh, here we go.
I actually did. I wanted to go see it again, but I think the cinemas just stopped airing it because it wasn't making any money.
There was an ad on the bus that I saw a few weeks ago. So
I quite liked it. I think definitely though, we're not sponsored by them. Go see Divergent. It was so good, so good.
Yeah. Sure. I definitely might see. When I saw the trailer for it, it looked.
The trailer's so bad. The trailer is so bad.
Is it?
Yeah, I hate.
It's not the fact that the characters were I don't know, bad in the trailer. It was just the fact that it looked, the way that the scenes were shot and the way the lighting was sort of directed. It looked so much like a Hunger Games movie that it just felt really familiar, and I don't know what it was about it. I can't really pin it down. It just felt very Hunger Gamesy. I think that's just the next thing everyone's trying to latch on.
I'm about to like make any viewer who's listening to us stop listening. But okay, the Hunger Games books were the most amazing, were amazing. I loved the books.
Sure.
I read the series 10 times over. It was amazing. But the movies are nowhere near as good as the books, and I think Divergent is better than The Hunger Games. Movie-wise, book-wise.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're entitled to your opinion. Just your opinion's wrong.
You can't insult things like that. That's being like, Harry Potter's shit. Harry Potter isn't shit. I like Harry Potter.
Everyone likes Harry Potter. I think it's really bad if you do hate Harry Potter.
Emma Watson annoys me a bit now. She's a fantastic person, but I don't know why. Just something about her gets me. I love Emma Watson, but she gets me now sometimes.
Yeah, she gets me too.
Not like that, Liam.
Anyway, what's next?
I haven't read. I'm gonna be very honest. I haven't read the Harry Potter books. I read half.
What, really? No.
I read some of The Prisoner of Azkaban. It was the only one we had because my cousin loves them so much. I never got his hand-me-downs because everything for my whole childhood was his hand-me-downs, and he loved the Harry Potter series so much he never handed them down to me. So I got one of them, I remember, and I'm pretty sure I stole it. Sorry. And so I read The Prisoner of Azkaban a million years ago. But what colour was Hermione's hair in the books? Because Emma Watson has really strange coloured hair.
I really couldn't tell you, to be honest. I never really paid attention to that sort of stuff. I read all the books when I was a kid. I liked them, but I think there's a lot of fanaticism about it. People sort of perhaps should, I don't know, get over it. It's a lot like the Frozen thing. Oh, jeez. I like Frozen. It's a good movie.
Frozen was so good, but
oh dear.
Now that everybody thinks it's so good,
it was playing on the. It was. I had to listen to it in the car today.
I think if you listen or watch something enough, though, it does just get annoying.
Yeah, of course it does. I've listened to Let It Go enough times to. Oh God, I just need to let it go, really.
Oh, let it go, everyone.
Classic.
What confuses me is how often. We were talking about Disney princesses the other night, weren't we? How often a Disney princess film comes out, because they don't come out very often. It might seem like it, we've just had Tangled, then Brave, then Frozen. But the thing is, the next one comes out in 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's called Moana.
It's called what, sorry?
Moana, I think that's how you pronounce it.
How do you spell that?
Now I'm going to spell it out to you, and it's not going to be how you pronounce it, okay? Moana. Moana. Moana.
I don't know.
It's we just found Anna, and now we have Moana. It's
Anna. It will be... It's interesting.
You know what looks really good? Maleficent. I want to go...
Oh, when you go onto the Disney website, the cursor turns into a Mickey Mouse hand.
Did you not know that?
I didn't know that. That's brilliant.
Oh god, that's terrible.
So,
do you want to know what else?
I don't think it has anything. Oh wait, no. The main character will be Moana Waliki.
It's Moana because it's only got one N. It's Moana.
It sounds very Oh, what does it sound like? It's Wailiki. Sounds
Lilo
like
and Stitch.
Yeah. It sounds like a
Lilo and Stitch.
Is it? No.
Moana is Lilo grown up, and she changes her name.
Shut up.
Because her older sister is Nani, she wants to have an An in her name, so she becomes Moana, and Stitch dies, and that's what the movie is about.
It sounds like a lot like a Pacific Islander type thing, because it's like a sea voyaging enthusiast.
Yes, she is. It's a Pacific Island princess, because now every fucking nationality wants their own Disney fucking princess. It's so stupid. People are actually getting really angry about it. They're like, oh, why isn't there a Japanese princess? Why isn't there a... Well, we have Norwegian princesses now. Elsa and Anna.
That wasn't really... It was sort of like a... I don't know. Was that it? I don't know. It didn't seem that... they had a fjord, but everything else didn't seem all that Norwegian.
Oh, I thought they integrated a lot of the Norwegian culture. I don't know anything about Norwegian culture, but I assumed they dressed in traditional Norwegian clothes for some.
There's a bunch of ones coming out. Alright, here we go. The next one to come out...
is Moana.
No, it's Big Hero in theaters November 7th, 2014, and then it's Zootopia, and then it's Giant.
Yeah, but they are live action ones. I'm talking about Disney princess films.
Oh,
So
are
the
they?
Disney princess franchise, Moana, is
see.
going to be the next addition to the Disney princess film franchise.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm sorry, I'm like, I don't know why they it intrigues me and interests me so much, but I'm really like, for someone of my age, I'm too into the Disney princess franchise. Like, I don't like collect them or anything, but I find it interesting. I've seen all the films. Speaking of that, Maleficent looks bloody amazing.
Looks kind of interesting, doesn't it? Interesting take on the whole evil villain sort of thing, I guess. I haven't really seen the trailer. I've just seen bits and pieces of like pictures of whatchamacallit, big pouty lips girl whose name escapes me now.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie, yeah.
One sec. Speaking of that, movie's coming out. I know I'm going to go back to it, but The Fault in Our Stars. Have you seen they released the clip of him doing the whole "it's a metaphor" thing with the cigarette?
No. What is that?
Do you want me to send it to you and then we can just?
No. Well, that would be difficult for. Just you can explain it to me if you want. I mean,
basically, in the book, they're standing outside. Okay, do you know what The Fault in Our Stars is about? I don't want to spoil it for you because you haven't read the book, have you? You're terrible.
Yeah, well, I'm going to eventually read it. I'll read it very soon when I get my hands on it. I do have my hands on it. I can get it any time. I will read it.
Okay.
Everyone is extremely in love with John Green.
I'm really angry about that because a lot of people just like read The Fault in Their Stars and like, oh my god, John Green. They have no idea who he is. He's one of the Vlog brothers, and he's written a whole deal more like stories than just The Fault in Our Stars. Like.
Suppose.
But The Fault in Our Stars is by far the most interesting out of all of them, in my opinion. I haven't read them all. I've just read like the majority of them.
I like the name though. The name is really, really good.
Yeah, it is. But basically, so Hazel Grace, who's the main character, is forced to go to a support group. Okay, I'm not going to explain why.
She's just a cancer patient.
Yeah.
I think everyone at this point really knows.
And she meets Augustus Waters. Blah 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 blah. They're standing outside waiting for her mum to pick her up. And they're just talking, and then he gets out a pack of cigarettes, and he puts one in his mouth, and she's like, oh my god, I can't believe you do that, you had freaking cancer, why would you pay a company to acquire more cancer? And then she gets really upset, she's like, it sucks not being able to breathe. By the way, I love her, I'm just like mimicking her fun.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then he's just like, see, what you do is you put the killing thing between your teeth, but you don't give it the power to kill you because he never lights them, he just holds them in his mouth. It's a metaphor. Get it?
Oh, that's... okay. I suppose.
It's a really cheesily written book.
Yeah.
He really is just like, says the sweetest things. That's how you sell a book, though. You just write like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, 50 Shades of Grey sold, didn't it?
But...
Oh, man, that video, everybody needs to check out. Gilbert Gottfried reading 50 Shades of Grey. It's on YouTube. It's amazing. Gilbert Gottfried was the voice actor that played Iago the parrot in Aladdin. And it's just absolutely hilarious. Because he reads all the really steamy bits of the
So,
yeah.
The thing about The Fault in Our Stars, and he's so perfect. That's why it sells. He's perfect.
Suppose.
Because it never goes down like that in real life.
I guess so. People just like to... Oh, this is getting a bit too philosophical.
That's what the Plodcast...
The Plodcast is all about philosophical discussions.
No, it's like...
About love, life, and loss.
Oh, this is so terrible.
Yes.
This whole conversation might be useless. I don't know.
Oh, I doubt it. It'll be fine. Yeah.
It's got... The Fault in Our Stars has, like, some of my favorite quotes in it. Not all... Some of the quotes I found kind of annoying. Okay, and I know this isn't from The Fault in Our Stars. It's from Looking for Alaska, which is another one of John Green's books. And it's a quote I don't like. It's like the only quote that's annoyed me. I know he's a brilliant writer. It must be amazing, but it's not. And it's... This isn't it word for word. This is just what I remember. It annoys me. And it's like, if people were rain, I was a drizzle and she was a hurricane. And it annoys me. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense.
Which reminds me of Jaden Smith and his tweets. Oh, dear God, that boy is losing it. If our eyes aren't real, how can if mirror? I don't know. It
was something.
I am going to Google it right now. Jaden Smith tweets official Jaden. Oh.
By the way, my favorite quote of all time. Oh no.
Green. This is a new one actually. Green, white, and blue make dreams come true.
Fucking hell.
Jesus. From the day you're born to the day you die, you have one responsibility, and that's to make yourself happy. Oh, that's not too bad. That's very philosophical, Jaden. Thank you.
Why are you... Wait, listen to this. Okay, this is my favorite quote from The Fault in Our Stars. My thoughts are stars I cannot fathom into constellations. That is how I feel. Every day.
Lovely. This one's a really...
Continue.
No, this is the best one though. Oh, no, well, it's not the best one, but he says, this is all in capitals, mind you. Well, like the first word, the first letter of every word is in capitals. And he's like, let's be clear. You do not know me. You think you do, but you don't know. Where I live, where I sleep, or anything my life consists of. Oh dear. I mean, there's some really interesting ones that if you go further down, there's some really interesting Jaden tweets. But I'm
in love with Jaden, clearly.
Yeah, he's got that whole Wi-Fi brow look going on. If you Google his name,
I don't know who Jaden Smith is.
He's what? He's Will Smith's son.
What?
He's the son of Will Smith.
Will Smith is a black guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He is of the black skin persuasion.
What do you think you're doing?
What do I think I'm doing? I'm looking at his tweet.
Could you stop? Go. Out.
All right. Well, we're at 35 minutes or around 34 something minutes at the moment anyway. So I think that's about all we have time for.
No. We gotta record an hour's worth and then cut it down, so that way we have a variety we can choose.
No. There's no point because I'm not gonna edit the whole bit in between. That's silly.
Yeah, you have to edit it. We're not.
No, I'm not doing that. That's
it was your one job, Liam.
My job is to edit the bits that need to be edited. I don't need to edit. I'm not gonna. Yeah, we'll just leave it at 35 at the moment. I think that's a good time roundabout. I think.
Can I hear the theme song?
Sure. It is. Oh, I'll show it to you later when we get it up. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, one sec. There's like 3 people messaging me on Facebook, and I just refrained from like.
Well, we're gonna probably end it now. So, hello, all you amazing, sexy viewers. Well, not viewers at the moment. Listeners. That would be the correct
what are we
word.
Doing?
We're closing out. We're sort of closing the show. You know.
We have to close the show. Okay.
We have to close the show. Who doesn't close the show? You don't leave the curtains open, right? That's a bit icky. Hello, all you beautiful and sensual listeners. This has been the Plodcast with me and
the person.
Her.
We'll figure out what we're calling ourselves at a later date.
Yeah, we'll just be the me and you, so that works, or she and I, whatever works. And
she's the cat's mother.
You can subscribe to our updates on our Facebook page. At the moment, we don't have an official URL because someone needs to get their act together. But at the moment, if you type in Plodcast in Facebook, I'm sure you will find it. It is the Plodcast, and we also have a YouTube channel, but we will upload videos of the podcast, like video versions of the podcast in due course. So watch this space. Anything you'd like to say?
What space?
The space that this is contained in.
But there isn't space. It's not contained in physical. You know what? Goodbye. Have a
That's
really
just too much.
day.
All right. Thanks, everybody.